Good morning and welcome to the wonderful assistance of BEI Phase 5. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm just going to wait 1 minute to see if anyone else joins us, and then I will go ahead and get started. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. I see we only have a few people on the call today, but that's great. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna help you get to your training, complete your training, and get your certificates. A very warm welcome from myself on this cold Wednesday morning. My name is Jen Stradom, and I am with the Teacher Connect team, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Teacher Connect WhatsApp chatbot, which is where you will be able to find all the information you need about BEI Phase 5, as well as where you will find, do, and complete your training. I'm going to explain exactly how all of that can work. I really look forward to sharing that information with you today. So let's talk a little bit about phase 5, my dear assistants. So in this phase of BEI, all assistants are asked to do several things, one of which is to complete their training by the end of August. That's the end of this month, so just under 4 weeks. We also ask that assistants complete a monthly survey. Don't worry, those will be sent to you. You can also find them on the chatbot. I'll explain to you exactly where you can find those. They're not available just yet, but should be in the coming days. So your training and your monthly surveys you'll all find on Teacher Connect. But there's a lot of other interesting information that you'll be able to find and have access to. Firstly, there'll be several types of webinars available for assistants to attend. These aren't compulsory, but can be really useful. They aim to share different types of information. There should be a webinar later this month. We will keep all those details on the chatbot so you can register and join us when possible. In terms of the information you're able to find on the chatbot, we have heaps. Firstly, we have a lot of information about soft skills. So we call that work readiness. Um, Basically, this is a host of tips and tools in order for you to make the most of the opportunity that you have in this contract for phase 5 of BEI. Not only can these help you to be work ready, but they can also help you with anything that arises during your time at school. So what to do if you have conflict, how to what the steps are for conflict resolution, what steps you need to take, who you need to speak to, etc. How to present yourself, how to learn, how to be engaging, and all of those wonderful things. We hope that you will make the most of this opportunity. We then also have a lot of exit opportunities. These are going to become potentially more interesting towards the end of your contract, but I know some of you are probably already thinking about what is next. This is for you. The exit opportunities are there to support you with whatever it is that will be your next step. So we have a lot of links to partner sites and programs offering scholarships, bursaries, learnerships, There's free training. Then there is some paid for training, which is heavily discounted. So we have a host of other opportunities for assistance exiting the program at the end of the year. Nothing stops you from starting to think about that now. You'll see the exit opportunities available for you listed on the menu. Towards the end of the contract, you'll also be able to get a letter of participation, and this will just have all your details on it and serve as evidence that you served in the program. Over and above the exit opportunities, we have a host of information on the program itself. Teacher Connect has been involved with the previous phases of BEEI, and we've worked with hundreds of thousands of assistants like yourselves. So we know the kinds of things that you want to know about, the sorts of information that you find interesting and necessary, as well as the type of questions that you guys are asking. We call these frequently asked questions, or FAQs. There's a whole repository of information there ready and waiting for you. But if you don't find what you need in the FAQs, we also have live support on Teacher Connect. We have our help desk team ready and waiting to answer any questions that you may have after reviewing all the content. We then also have a function called Share Your Story, which is just because we want to hear from you, the wonderful assistants of Phase 5. We want to hear from you about your experience in this program. You can send us photos, voice notes, videos, or a text upload with your written story. I'll tell you a little bit more in a moment about where to find all of that. So, for anyone who's joined late, I just want to reiterate the objective of today's session is for you to become familiar with Teacher Connect, and specifically our WhatsApp chatbot. This is where you'll be able to register and complete your training. So we're going to look at how to find Teacher Connect, how to register, how to find your training, how to complete your training, how to obtain your certificate, where to find your certificates again after you've completed your training, how you can change any of the details on your certificate if necessary, also how you can change your assistant type or reset your profile. These are all going to be very useful to you in this process. So I encourage you to just get comfortable, relax, and listen carefully. So there are more sessions you can take advantage of. So if you don't get all the information you need today, we have another one of these every Wednesday until the end of August. So every Wednesday, 11 to 12, we'll be here ready to take your questions, and we'll be ready to guide you through the process so you're not alone. Each training session has a different link, so if you want the links, please just speak to your district coordinator, or you can send us an email, BEEI@ecubed-dbe.org. You'll see that email address on my screen if you wanted to note that down. Even though there are several sessions still coming up for the rest of the month of October, you don't need to attend every webinar. You can attend as many times as you need to get the help you need and to have all your questions answered. But if you're confident that you know how to register, how to do your training, then you don't need to attend any more of these webinars. This webinar is purely here to help you. It is entirely optional. So there is no attendance register or attendance certificate required for this webinar because you're here of your own free will. So join as many as you like. If you have the information you need already, you're also welcome to drop off. These are just here to help you, and we will walk this journey with you. You are not alone. So because this is a webinar, your camera and microphone is off and will remain off for this entire call. That doesn't mean we're not open to questions. If you have any questions, my dear colleague Susanna is online and she will be answering questions. You can pop those into the Q&A box. If you're joining us on Zoom, you'll find a little button at the bottom of your screen that says Q&A. If you click that, Susanna will be there ready to answer your questions. But I kind of know the sorts of questions you guys are going to ask, so if you just listen, I'll probably answer all of them in the next few minutes. So if you've not found Teacher Connect yet, this is as easy as it is. You'll see the video on my screen showing you just how simple it really is. I'll start that video again while I describe. Basically, you need to send the word hi on WhatsApp to our phone number. Our number is 060 060 3333. It's up on my screen if you want to take that down. You can take this phone number and save it to your phone as Teacher Connect. Then go to WhatsApp and send the word hi. You'll see here on the video, this user has saved us as Teacher Connect. They've gone to WhatsApp. They've typed the word hi. Hey presto, there it is. That's the welcome message. At the bottom of those messages, you'll see little buttons. There you'll see it says next. The user has tapped next. And this takes them through their registration journey. It's as easy as that. I'll just repeat our phone number again for anyone who's joined. It's 060 060 3333. Please take down that phone number, save it to your phone. Alternatively, you can scan the QR code on the bottom left corner of my screen. It'll take you directly to WhatsApp, and then you can just send the word hi. Once you've done this, we will take you step by step through the registration process. There's a few pieces of information we need from you, so you can just follow the prompts, enter the information, and then wait for the next prompt. Easy, easy peasy. So in order to register, we need several pieces of information from you. Firstly, we need you to accept our privacy policy. What is a privacy policy? It's really nothing to worry about, but it is just us promising you that we are adhering to the standards of safety for your personal information. I'll just pause here. So you'll get a message with a link to our privacy policy if you want to read it. Otherwise, you can just accept the privacy policy. You do have to accept it in order to continue. Accepting the privacy policy, all that means is that you're acknowledging that we will do right by you. We are bound by the law in South Africa called POPI. It's called the POPI Act. It is a Protection of Personal Information Act. And all that means is that your personal information will be stored securely and that we won't be doing anything strange with it. It's just for us to be able to identify who you are and what training you need to do. Once you've accepted the privacy policy, as indicated here on the video, we will then ask you what your CADR is. You are BEI assistants, not teachers, principals, not learners anymore. For this purpose, you are a BEI assistant. Once you give us your CADR, we then ask for your first names and your last name. You see, we ask for these separately. So we'll ask you for your first names. You type those in, like on my screen. You wait. We then ask you for your last name, which is your surname. You type that in, and then you wait. We then say, nice to meet you. And we ask if we can send you messages. This is what we call a communications opt-in. If you say yes, we can send you WhatsApps if there's any new information or if there's any new training that comes available. Once you've opted in, we ask for your assistant type. I've just gone back on this video slightly. So you'll see you can opt in by saying yes, message me. You can also say no, this is entirely up to you, but we recommend that you say yes. We then ask for your assistant role type, where you're given a list. and you need to select your role. In this example, the user is a curriculum assistant. We then ask for your EMIS number. This is also an important piece of information. The EMIS number is the unique number that identifies the school where you are. If you don't know your EMIS number, please pause there and get that information from a fellow assistant, your teacher mentor, or directly from your principal. Don't put in a bunch of zeros like on my screen. Give us your actual EMIS number. So if we know which type of assistant you are and we know which school you're at, we know which training you have to do. So you'll see there again, we ask for EMIS number, you type in those digits, you hit send, and then you wait. We then ask for email address. Again, type everything slowly. There's no rush here. Just ensure that the information is captured accurately. We then finally ask for your ID number. This is just an example on my screen. Don't type in a bunch of zeros. Give us your actual ID number as it appears on your ID card. This helps us to verify your details. And hey presto, that is Jane B all registered and ready to go. Oh gosh, I just need to go back. Apologies, I've skipped ahead. So once you put in your ID number, you'll get our menu, and that's what it looks like. Once we know your name, we'll say hi. This user's name is Jane B, so we say, hi, Jane B. Welcome to the home of everything there is to know about the Basic Education Employment Initiative. So that is our menu. You'll see at the bottom here is a button that says tap here. You will click this to see all the items available to you. At the beginning of the call, I went through some of these. So here on this main menu, you'll find your training right up at the top. You'll also find work readiness, which is all the information on soft skills, frequently asked questions with all of the information you could need about the program, about being an assistant, about the various assistant roles, code of conduct, how to take leave, how to escalate any issues you have, and also just how to get in touch with the department or with us. You'll see there's also an option here that says surveys. When the new monthly survey comes out, you'll be able to find it there. You can find information on upcoming webinars over there as well. You'll be able to share your story with us. If necessary, you can change your role type. And then right at the bottom, you'll see my certificates. You, of course, have to do some training in order to have some certificates. But once you've done all your training, and if you need to have them reissued, you can find them here. And this is also where you can change your name on your certificate. So there's a lot here. I hope that you're following along. If you are one of the assistants that has more than one role in phase 5, you may need to do all your training in the one role, reset your profile, and then do it all again. Potentially, you can also just change your role type once you've done it. The profile reset is also great because if you've made a mistake on registration, or if you've done anything that you want to change, you can go back and do it again. I just want to caution you, if you reset your profile, you will lose all your progress. You will need to redo your training and obtain all your certificates again. So if you do want to reset your profile and you have completed some certificates, I highly recommend that you download those onto your phone or WhatsApp them to yourself or email them to someone just so that they are stored in a safe place. But let's talk about how to reset your profile. It's super easy. You need to wait at least 5 minutes since your last message on the chatbot. You then type in the word Teacher, connect, clear. It's actually three words, but all smushed into one. So make sure there's no spaces and make sure that that spelling is correct. You'll see it here in the middle of my screen. Teacher, connect, clear as a single word. You'll also see it here. You send it through. You wait for the response. Once you get a message that says your profile has been reset, you can say hi again. And that just kicks off the process from the beginning. Hi is the magic word here. If if you want to, if you've not been on the chatbot in a few days or in a few hours and you want to get back to the menu, all you need to do is just go in and say the word hi again, and that's how you'll find the menu. It could not be any easier. Same story. If you've cleared your profile and you want to start again, you just type the word hi, and we'll take you through it step by step. I touched on this earlier, but you can also change your role. On the menu, you'll see an option that's second to last that says change my role. Maybe you made a mistake on registration or you have two roles. Either way, we give you an option to change. So here you'll see Jane B, she was registered as a curriculum assistant, but she's also a handy person. So she's gone in and said, I'm a handy person, thank you. And now in the training hub, we will be able to tell her what training that she has to do as a handy person. It's as easy as that. So for any of those who have joined us a little bit late in the call, I just want to reiterate, this is how you find Teacher Connect. You can scan the QR code on the bottom left corner of my screen, and it'll take you directly to WhatsApp. Otherwise, you can save our phone number to your phone. You can save it as Teacher Connect. That phone number is 060-060-3333. You can also just take a screenshot of the slide if you want to keep this information for later. But it really is super easy. You just send the word hi, and we'll take you through the registration steps. Once you're registered and we know your assistant type, we will then be able to tell you all the training that you need to complete. Just a reminder, your camera and microphones are switched off, but if you want to ask us any questions, please put that in the Q&A box. You'll find a button at the bottom of your screen that says Q&A. If you open that, my colleague Susanna is online, ready and waiting to answer your questions. I'm just going to pause here to see if there are actually any open questions at the moment. I see there isn't anything right now. But if you do have anything, please pop that in the Q&A box. So let's talk about the training, because this is really why we're here. Once you register and have shared your details and assistant type with us, you'll be given the various training modules that you need to complete. If you see here on my screen, you go to training on the menu. We will then identify you. Once you're ready, you say ready to start. Here in this example, this assistant is a curriculum assistant. They've said ready to start. We send them a message that says, according to our records, you are a curriculum assistant. That means you need to do the following training. We give a list, so you don't have to remember all of this. We'll just tell you what you need to do. No pressure for you to hold it inside your brain. You can then open the menu and decide what training you want to do first. We always recommend that you begin with the orientation training. It's a great place to start. Once you tap on the type of training, you'll see the training is right here in WhatsApp. And you're able to do the training just there on your phone, all the power and knowledge in the palm of your hand. You'll see the training comes through message by message, and then there's buttons at the bottom. You can just tap your way through the buttons as necessary. Assistants only need to complete the list of training that is shared with them. You can, of course, do all the training if you wish. The training is available for you to learn as much as you can in your time as an assistant, but you really only need to complete the list that is shared with you. In addition to the training on the platform, there are a couple of additional training links from partner websites that are also available for completion. So training like digital literacy, otherwise known as KITSO, and also NSSF, which is the National School Safety Framework. Those pieces of training are not on Teacher Connect, but we will be able to give you links to those at the end of your orientation training. So once you've done orientation, we will provide you links to do the off-platform training. If you see here on my screen, the training just comes through bit by bit. You can just take your time, take a deep breath, read everything carefully, and when you're ready, tap next. The info will come through in bite-sized chunks that'll be easy for you to understand and digest. We have a lot of training available, which is very exciting. We have, as mentioned, your orientation training, which is playing here on the video on my screen, but there's also dedicated training for the specific roles. We have training for care and support assistants, curriculum assistants, handy persons, reading champions, sports and enrichment assistants, as well as ECATers. Apologies, ECATers is not on my list here, but we have ECATers training. There is then still some training in progress for workshop assistants as well as laboratory assistants. If you register on the chatbot, we'll let you know when the workshop and laboratory training is ready. So let's talk about what training the different roles need to do. If you are a care and support assistant, this slide is for you. Care and support assistants are required to do 4 pieces of training: orientation, care and support, digital literacy, and NSSF. Those are the 4 pieces of training you need to do. Again, this is not something you need to remember off the top of your head. If you are registered on the chatbot, we will tell you exactly what you need to do. It's these 4 pieces of training for care and support. Curriculum assistance, you have a slightly heavier lift in terms of training. You have 7 pieces of training that you are required to complete by the end of August. It's orientation, curriculum for foundation phase, curriculum training for intermediate and senior phase, as well as curriculum training for FET phase. You're then also required to do Introduction to Project-Based Learning, which is a really wonderful course. It is our flagship course that we're very proud of. We hope that you'll enjoy it. There's then also the digital literacy training from Kitso, as well as NSSF. Those are the 7 pieces of training. Important to note, dear curriculum assistants, you are required to do all 3 pieces of the curriculum training, regardless of the phase at which you are assisting. So you need to do the curriculum training for all 3 phases, regardless of the phase in which you are a curriculum assistant. And that is for all curriculum assistants. Reading champions, you also have 4 pieces of training that you are required to complete. It is your orientation training, reading champions training, digital literacy, and NSSF. Those are the 4 pieces of training for reading champions. Handy persons, you are also required to complete 4 pieces of training: orientation, handy persons, digital literacy, and NSSF. I think you'll see a trend here. All assistant roles are required to complete orientation, digital literacy, and NSSF. It is the role-based training that changes for each role type. So handy persons, these are your 4 pieces of training up on my slide right now. Laboratory assistants. You have 4 pieces of training that you are required to complete. However, only 3 of them are currently available. So for now, it's just 3. It's orientation, digital literacy, and NSSF. The laboratory assistant training is coming soon. This is in review with the DBE. Please, if you're a laboratory assistant, please don't worry. We will notify you as soon as that training is available. So even if you haven't registered yet, please register, because then once we've got your mobile number, we can send you a WhatsApp to say it's time to start your training. Sports and enrichment assistants, you have 4 different pieces of training you're required to complete by the end of August. It's once again orientation. You then have the sports and enrichment training that's now available on the chatbot. There's also digital literacy, which is the online safety training with Kitso, and NSSF, the National School Safety Framework. Workshop assistants, you have 4 pieces of training, only 3 of which are currently available. That's orientation, digital literacy, and NSSF. If you register on Teacher Connect, we'll let you know as soon as that workshop training is ready for you. You can absolutely start with the others in the meantime. You have until the end of August. E-Caters, we have lots of training for you. We've got orientation. There's Code Club training. There's also an awesome entrepreneurship challenge that's there ready for you. Then you've got the digital literacy, which is the Kitso. Then Lesedi, which is financial tips. Loazi, the financial doctor. And then NSSF, the National School Safety Framework. That's 7 pieces of training that e-caders are required to do by the end of August. You'll find all of this on the chatbot. Again, so you don't need to worry if you can't remember all of this. If you're registered, we're going to tell you exactly what you need to do if you are e-caders. Amazing. Those are the types of training you need to do for your assistant time. This is just a reminder. All training should be completed by the end of August, so the end of this month. When any new courses are available, we'll send you an SMS or a WhatsApp to notify you that those are ready for you to begin. I'm just going to pause here. I would like to see if there's any questions in the chat box. No, nothing in Q&A that Susanna has not already answered. I think that you guys seem to be on top of it. Great. Very, very happy. If you do have any questions, though, please just pop that in the chat box. As I said, Susanna's there ready to answer for you. I am, however, nearing the end of my presentation, so if you do have any questions, please put those through. Let's talk about your certificates. So, your certificate is automatically issued once your training is completed. So, for example, me, Jen, I go on the WhatsApp, I do my orientation training, and on completion of training, I am shared a small PDF with my names, the date of completion, and the type of training. You'll see here on my screen some examples of certificates. Just want to go back slightly. These are the certificates that will automatically generate as soon as you finish training. It is important to note, for each piece of training that you complete, you will receive a certificate of completion. So once you finish orientation, you'll get a certificate. Once you finish your role-based training, you'll also get a certificate. When these certificates are shared with you, we recommend that that they be saved somewhere safe. So you can just download them onto your phone, WhatsApp them to yourself, WhatsApp them to a friend or a family member, maybe even your teacher, mentor, or principal. You can also email it to yourself or someone else for safekeeping. These are essentially the evidence that you have completed your course. To get the certificate, again, you need to complete the training in full. If you have completed your training, let's say, for example, you have done 4 pieces of training and you just want to get all your certificates again, you can do that here on the menu. That bottom item is My Certificates. When you click on it, we will check your details are correct. If they are correct, we will just reissue them to you. So in this video, you'll see it says, "Hi, is your first name Janet and your surname Sneeman?" And the user says yes. We then said, "Great, here's all of your certificates." So you'll see here Janet has done her orientation certificate as well as reading champions. Well done, Janet. It's as easy as that to find your certificates. What can you do though if you maybe made a mistake with the spelling of your name during registration? Well, you can update the details on your certificate. I want to just play this video from the beginning to show you. On the menu, certificates is right at the bottom. If you click My Certificates, we will then confirm if your details are correct. So here you'll see it says, "Is your first name Janet and your surname Sneerman?" She says, "No, I need to edit." She then gives us her name with the correct spelling and her last name. That seems to be the same spelling, so it looks like she made a mistake on her first name. It then takes a moment, but then all the certificates are reissued with the correct name on them. So here you'll see some nice examples. That's a reading champion certificate. Here's a handy person certificate. Janet has been busy. I want to caution you though. Changing the name on your certificate is super easy, but you only have one chance to change your details. So when you do it, please make sure you're very careful when you type in your first names and your last name. Your first names are all your names, and your last name is your surname. I hope that helps. Right. And then one last time, in case you need to screenshot this information or scan the QR code, or if you actually just want to email us because you have a problem and need a little bit of help, our email address is on the bottom of the screen. It is BEEI@ecubed-DBE.org. That is our email address. You're welcome to send us anything you have trouble with. We are here to assist you. However, almost everything that you need, you'll be able to find on the chatbot. So if you just say hi to Teacher Connect on WhatsApp, we'll take you through the registration journey, where we ask you for pieces of information about yourself. Once you're registered, we'll then tell you which training you need to do. You'll then be able to find and complete your training on Teacher Connect. For each piece of training you do, you will get a completion certificate once you've done the training in full. It's as easy as that. Are there any final questions for the Q&A box before I end this call? I will just give you 1 minute to ask if there's any more questions. It would appear that there are no further questions for today. So I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate you having joined us for this call and for listening so intently. I also want to thank you for taking the initiative to do your training ahead of the end of August. Reminder, you do have until the end of the month to do your training, but nothing stops you starting today. If you are getting to the end of this call with us now and you still have questions, this is just a gentle reminder. We have another webinar next week, Wednesday at 11, and every Wednesday at 11 until the end of August. So you're welcome to join us if you need more help. But if you are all sorted now and you have everything you need, then there's no need to attend any more of these sessions. I would like to wish you all the very, very best in the next few months on your contracts. It's been an absolute privilege to chat to you today. I wish you all the best on your learning journey. And thank you so much for listening. I wish you a beautiful day further.